1-1. So we've got a game in our hands.
Yeah, we certainly have. 2 holds from both teams' offensive lines. Neither was turned free, as you say, but they did execute eventually. Phillips and Georgia, Egan Griffiths behind the disc for this Ellipsis O-line. And they'll start working it up this near side to Olivia Carr. 2 of the veterans joining up with one of the younger athletes on this team. Working it down the sideline, shoot for the forehand to the end zone.
Oh, she's got a hold of it.
And that's Samar Dhaliwal. The spirit captain of Ellipsis takes a nice pack grab in traffic. And Ellipsis get a clean hold on the board to take it to 2-1.
It's going to be an interesting game. March Madness is the other weekend. Down in Melbourne, Ellipsis' hometown, they took it by 1 point. So it's going to be interesting to see who can take it today. It's going to be a slog of a game, I think.
Yeah, universe point matchup there. Ellipsis obviously coming out on top, but I don't know if the home ground advantage will make a difference. I believe both teams were largely at full strength for that one. No significant additions or subtractions, I believe. But the difference of just a couple of weeks can sometimes be really significant in a team's preparation across the season. But they might have tidied up a few things on offense, found a few new defensive looks. We'll see whether that makes a difference here.
Pulls up. Barcham's looking under it. She's got it. Well, big defense down to toe. She hasn't got a mark on her right now. To Dawson. She's managed to find a spot in the middle. Get it through. Oh, over the top.
That's Jess Parks who goes up well to get the block.
Oh, she's into the corner. Dennis gets the score.
Against her old teammates, Adelaide Dennis.
Ouch.
Originally a Canberra product. Played a lot of university and her early club days in Canberra, but has now moved to Melbourne. And obviously a big part of this Ellipsis team.
It's first break of the game.
So it's 3-1. Factory's O-line remains unchanged on the field, same 7.
Interesting if that D comes down again. I think that was messing them up a little bit. See if they can work it out and get it up the field.
Didn't seem to be anything too unusual, too deep into the tricks bag. Just good, solid match defense, but just putting pressure on every pass.
Yeah. Not giving Factory a lot of options.
And Factory is certainly a team that relies heavily on their athleticism. And the athletes of the Ellipsis D-line clearly causing them a few issues early.
Yep. A horror going on. They get it through.
Dawson shoots. Backhand to the end zone.
To Stuve. Oh, she got it.
That's a nice take. Outstretched right hand.
Dennis almost got the D on that.
And that's a look I think we'll see a lot of from Factory. Abby Dawson providing a primary underneath and then shooting to the end zone to a range of receivers. And Dawson's one of those players where great athlete, great in the air, inevitably gets given a lot of underneath space because other teams are scared of her in that underneath space, scared of her in the deep space.
Yeah, they give her that open under. Now she's attacking with the deep shots.
She certainly is.
Factory D-liner is on. Let's see what they come out with.
If we look at this matchup from just a couple of years ago, I remember commentating the semi-final at 2017 Nationals where Ellipsis embarrassed Factory. I think it's fair to say, Sharon. I think you were.
I played in that game.
You were in that game.
That was unfortunate.
It was big win, and then we look at what's happened in the following 2 years, and
Big changes.
Big changes. I mean, both the personnel from Factory, but also just in terms of clearly the quality. They're now a Universe point loss to Ellipsis a few weeks ago, and they're already showing their class here. Egan Griffiths with the disc, finds Phillips. Inside break to Della. She goes inside again to Egan Griffiths. Those inside forehands doing a lot of damage.
Ugh.
And they eventually find Olivia Carr for the easy flip for the goal.
I think Factory have something to work on now for the next D point. These insides were very brutal on that point for them.
And that's often what we see in the first part of a game, teams feeling each other out, figuring out, you know, what it is that needs to be stopped, where the priorities need to be on defense. It's that tactical chess match in the early portions.
It is. Got Ellipsis coming out on defense again. Are we going to see anything interesting, or are we going to just see a nice, good, solid match? Both teams are solid on their match D and match O. It's going to be a good slog if they just keep pushing.
Factory's leadership this year, a younger bunch, Abby Dawson, Laura Emerson and Kirsten Eyre. We'll see in terms of that tactical chess battle and those decisions, whether that youth is an advantage or how it holds up against maybe some of the more storied veterans of the Ellipsis team.
That was a good pickup by, oh, Eyre's just been D'd. By Anderson. Looking for the dump. Oh, no. Oh, almost a pickup by Vino. It's unfortunate they weren't quite on the same page. Factory got another chance here. Over to Barcham.
It's interesting to see Barcham in that handler space, I guess probably more classically known as a receiver.
Oh, to Osmond. Oh, she's looking across the field. Toes. There, she's got it. That was a great look.
Really lovely throw from Osmond onto that flat side of the field into a space that's just really difficult for the defender to get back across into and to make a play on the defensive end.
It was good keeping it alive. They were having a bit of trouble to start with, but they kept it alive, managed to get that breakdown to Osmond and that nice fat side throw. But I think with the younger leadership, it has shown some different strategies and plays come out from Factory this year. So it's a good mix-up and a good change, and it seems to be paying off well for them.
Certainly is a different style from years past. Much more aggressive, I'd say, this year. A lot of players feeling empowered to take some of those higher risk, higher reward shots, which maybe was not in the playbook for Factory of years gone past. It's certainly different. We'll see whether it pays off.
Factory starting on D. See if they've learnt from the last D line. Big run down. Oh, it's a big put by Phillips. Oh, big D by Schmidt.
Schmidt, one of those new players to this team this year, a raw athlete, product of the ANU Ultimate Club. And you can see that athleticism coming into play on that point. Makes up some serious deficit in terms of meters.
Definitely. Emerson's picking it up. So there's an interesting D going on.
Looks like even limbs isolated on this side with Caitlin Grange, a bit of a splits back formation.
Oh, Grange picks it up. She's looking big. Beresford's in. It's a good read by Anderson. She's gotten in front. Egan Griffiths, she's got it back. Oh, hammer. It's Phillips. Back to Egan Griffiths. She's looking big, no, looking for the reset. Phillips has got it. Just puts it out nicely to Della. Oh, Egan Griffiths again for the goal.
Some nice offense there by Ellipsis on that final possession.
Nothing like a hammer to the break side to open things up.
Gave them plenty of room to move.
Ellipsis never seem particularly challenged or stressed out when they've got the Frisbee. They know they've always got a reset there and they're always happy to take it. Look for the big shots, look for the breaks. It was a nice just thrower-initiated throw out to a cutter there whose defender wasn't quite paying attention.
Yeah, they're definitely the masters of calm, collected offense. They exude confidence, and that's half the battle often, that mental side of taking the field against them.
It is.
Factory sticking by their offensive and aggressive looks. So far we saw that last point, that set play, Grange shooting to Beresford. Grange willing to take that shot despite not a whole lot of separation.
Ooh, we've got a zone.
We've got 3 in a cup, looks like 2 behind and then 2 patrolling the deep space.
Oh.
And a great bid by Samar Dhaliwal and Abby Dawson. They'll have a chat about the contact on the way past. And it's uncontested.
Uncontested foul.
It looked like Abby Dawson was being assassinated in that zone. Fair enough. Very much a key piece.
Big shot straight to bar. Has she got it? Oh, too far. Ellipsis back to O. Captain Ma picking it up.
Some nice defense by Factory on the first couple of primary movements. As they move it into the centre to Vino, to Jodie Palmer. Backhand down the line.
Oh, that was a close bid. Dennis scores. Another one for Dennis.
That's her second, and that's another break for the Ellipsis D-line. Maddie Stuve centimetres away, millimetres away from that D.
Just had a few extra arms, she would have gotten it.
If she hadn't cut her nails, I think she would have had enough.
It was very close.
Though I will say her shirt is still pristine white. That could have changed. May have had another look at it. Looks like we've got a timeout call by Factory. Just taking a moment to reset. Things have maybe got a little bit away from them. They're 6-3 down. They've given up a few breaks. And we've seen Ellipsis pull out that tactical adjustment of the zone that Factory wasn't able to adjust to very well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Factory come out firing again after this timeout. They often do. Can pull things back together. Get that fire back in them. Ellipsis looking very chilled out and happy. Sitting pretty. Got some nice offense happening.
I have indeed. In terms of that discussion that the Factory leadership is having right now, what do you think the decision making is? What's the thought process? You've been on this team, you know these players.
I think they're going to be thinking about where the D's have, where their D's going and what they need to focus on. There's a lot of stuff happening around the handlers, a lot of quick handler movement that I think if they could shut down, they can get in a bit more. They've got some fast, athletic players that should have some good defence. They just need to tweak it in a few spots, and I think we can see a few more Ds coming out from Factory. But it's the handlers, I think, at the moment on Ellipsis that they're everywhere and they're moving quickly that I think Factory can take out. They just need to adjust.
And they do have the athletes to put pressure on Ellipsis. We saw Caitlin Grange before marking up on Georgia Egan-Griffiths. That's a great matchup.
Yeah, Barcham on a handler. If she can stop her even getting a throw out.
It'll make a difference. And as soon as you can get Ellipsis off their plan A, you've got to consider that a win.
Yeah, getting disrupted, make them reconsider what they're doing.
We've got pretty cool conditions in Canberra today. I looked at the forecast earlier, we're heading towards a top of 25 or so, but at the moment, still pretty cool. Overcast.
Cool. A bit of drizzle around.
Yeah. A bit of dampness on the grass, perhaps, when the disc lands. They'll need to be aware of that, picking it back up.
Not a lot of wind.
No, generally pretty lovely conditions, honestly, to be playing it.
It is a nice Frisbee day. Ellipsis are out and ready.
We'll see whether Factory adjusts their offensive line here or whether they stick with their trusted 7, and it looks like they are going with the norm. Haven't changed things up too drastically.
Well, they have been training in these lines all season, so they want to keep working that. See what Ellipsis come out with. They're going to come back down with the zone again. Seems that seemed to mess up Factory last time, or are they going to try something different?
That zone worked really well, assassinating Dawson out of the middle, taking away what is pretty consistently Factory's primary look.
Turnover.
And that'll be punished quickly. A simple mistake from Kirsten Eyre leads to a simple goal for Ellipsis.
It was Edwards taking the score. They wanted to get things moving quickly, Factory. Unfortunately, weren't all quite on the same page.
And it's 7-3. Ellipsis are now knocking on the door of half-time.
See if Factory can bring it back together, get this offense happening.
And that's the first time Ellipsis have managed to string breaks together as well. That's 2 breaks in a row, even with the timeout in between. So clearly Ellipsis have taken advantage of the couple of weeks since March Madness, tweaked a few things and really found another level in terms of defensive pressure and also clinicalness and efficiency on offense.
Which is what they're well known for, clinical offense. Tough D.
Yeah, they're not a team that gives you the disc very often.
They are not.
You've really got to earn every possession against Ellipsis.
Which is going to be interesting for Factory, seeing as though they're ones willing to take a few risks and hope that they can work hard to get the Frisbee back. Against Ellipsis, that might be a bit difficult.
Very contrasting styles. Eyre underneath this one, and we see that same zone. This time, however, Dawson doesn't appear to be assassinated, but it won't matter. Vino gets a fingertip on that pass from Ivanovic to Eyre. Carolyn Marr picks it up. The bladey, floaty forehand to Kate Robertson.
Is she in? She's in. That was a big flick over the top. Big risky throw, but it paid off. They obviously have thrown that to each other before. Didn't look like anyone was particularly concerned. A few players getting in and around, but...
In the warm-up before the game, a lot of Ellipsis I saw throwing that very same throw in their warm-up. Clearly something that they want to have in their arsenal, something that they're clearly cutting for and very willing to throw.
Comfortable to catch. That's not an easy one to watch it round over your back.
Absolutely, and Kate Robertson a real veteran despite her young years. A blue bottle, multi-time blue bottle, I should say, competing later this year at the World Under-24s, as she did last year in Perth.
We'll see if she brings some of that out this afternoon in the showcase game.
Indeed, the Blue Bottles are playing a showcase match this evening against ex-Blue Bottles, I believe.
That should be a fun matchup.
Certainly will. So we've got to halftime here. Ellipsis really run away with it, stringing 3 breaks together to take it 8-3. We might take a little break, but you guys shouldn't go anywhere as we bring you action all day long from the Brisbane Canberra Invitational.
Welcome back to the Brisbane Canberra Invitational, brought to you by Factory and Fishwick Ultimate Clubs and presented by ULTI.TV. First game of the day, first game of the weekend. My name is Max Stenstrom. I'm joined in the booth by Sharon Ringland, and it's bad news for the home team so far.
It is, unfortunately. It's 8-3 to Ellipsis. They're coming out on offense after half-time. Big pull. Emerson's picking it up. Looking straight to Grange. She looking for the long shot. Nope, under to, misread, misthrow. Turnover. Ellipsis are back on. It's an unfortunate turnover. Mars picking it up. Oh, big break. Round to Dennis. Another break to Edwards. These breaks are causing some issues for Factory.
Easy as you like it for Ellipsis. As you say, string a couple of breaks together and the defense on the back foot the entire time. And
there was a close call in the middle. I thought that first break might have been Deed, but managed to hold on to it.
And that's another breakout of half for Ellipsis as well. And it feels like Factory, they're an athletic team and they're clearly used to being able to get open on their first look. And maybe when they're having to go to their plan B or C, things start to get a little bit more forced. The gaps become smaller, the windows become tighter. And just right now, they're not quite managing to hit those tight execution windows.
No, they do seem a little flustered at the moment. Hopefully they can pull it all together, because we've seen some amazing offense from Factory, from this team.
Oh, we know when it's working for them, it looks a dream. But right now, things just aren't quite clicking. Sparcham finds air in the centre. Dawson again will initiate. Finds its way to air. Toes going deep. Air will shoot. It's a flat backhand. It's in front.
Not quite high enough.
No, not a lot of touch on that one. Needed a little more love. Angie Toes quick, but asking a little much of her there.
Let's see how Factory go on D. Looking big. Is Air going to get under that? Oh, no. Chong got to it.
Big bladey forehand for Robertson.
Oh, I thought Barcham had that. Robertson for the goal.
And that was as Ellipsis' O-line playing a defensive point there, so no surprises. They were clinical going the other way.
It was unfortunate. There was a few chances for Factory there to get some Ds. Didn't quite get there. It was close. Some lucky shots in there.
And some of those high-risk 50-50 shots are the kind of thing that you'd expect Factory to take and complete. But right now it's Ellipsis that are managing to come down with all those jump balls.
They are, which is unfortunate for Factory.
Certainly is. Not how they'd want to start their weekend. In a tournament like this, getting your momentum early, getting in a nice groove and a nice rhythm can really make a difference to where things end up on Sunday afternoon. There's so few games, there's not a lot of chance to throw a couple away due to a slow start or not quite being fully switched on.
See what Ellipsis come down with D. Dahoog picking up.
Dahoog, one of the few older heads on this team. I'd expect them to rely on her to add some of the calm patience that maybe is not the standard for some of their younger, more aggressive players.
Ooh.
Beresford and Dhaliwal, huge contact. A lot of hip and shoulder in that one.
There was a lot. That looked painful.
They both seem pretty amicable about it. I think Beresford probably has a right to be a little bit upset. But she held on the disc throughout, so no need to make a call, really. They'll have a chat. Things will be tipped back in and play will continue.
Oh.
An immediate hand block, I think, by Karen Ma. Just got a tip on it and allowed Dennis to get the block.
Ma's picked up. Looking, down the line. A bit high. Amazing grab. Back to Ma. She's looking break. Dennis is there. She's looking break. Back to Ma. Down the line to Dennis. Lucky pickup. Back to Vino and a score.
That's Samar Dhaliwal with the goal in the end. He was working hard that point. Big contact on Beresford on the far side. A bid to keep it alive on the near side. And she's rewarded with the stat at the end.
It was an unfortunate point for Factory. They were looking good on offense. They had some good flow. Just a unfortunate inside break look that didn't quite come off. It's hard after a big contact to follow up with a throw.
Adrenaline's pumping. It's that conservation of greatness idea, really.
It is, unfortunately. I've always learned if you have a great grab or a big contact, just dump it. Unfortunately, not that time. It was a good look. Didn't quite come off. And Ellipsis again. Lots of handler movement.
Lots of handler movement. Very quick. So Karimar, the instigator of a lot of that, loves the give-go. And really explosive on those first couple of steps. Hard to contain.
Unfortunately, Factory haven't quite managed to adjust their D to stop that. See if Factory can convert this time. Ivanovic looking for Dawson again. She's getting trapped on the sideline. Great through the middle to Toe. Back to Dawson.
We've got a new defensive look.
Big look. Is Phillips going to get in there? Is Bartram going to take it? Great grab by Bartram.
That's well taken. Up high. Over the Ellipsis captain and founder, Kat Phillips. And AFLW player, I should note. No stranger to an aerial contest, regardless of the object.
Yeah, it was a good look by Dawson. There was two deep and Phillips had favoured the open side. She looked for the big across to Bartram.
What we did see from Ellipsis there was the adjustment in their zone. Earlier they'd been playing 3 in the cup. Then they brought 1 extra in onto the mark to make it 4. A bit more of a traditional, what we'd call a pommy zone, providing extra pressure on that thrower.
It was a great early shot straight through the cup though.
The cup was playing catch up, and because all those players in the cup were there, meant there was less protection downfield, opening that space for Dawson to find Bartram.
Let's see what the D-line can come up with on Factory.
And Dawson will take one on the D-line. We haven't seen a crossover yet. Hoping to inject a little more firepower into their defense. And also following the turn. Her and Grange. Powerful combination. Egan Griffiths surveys the field. Doesn't like what she's seeing initially. It's a couple of players head to the end zone. Della finds Carr on the far side.
Oh.
Has to bid to try and hold on as Olivia Carr's pass a little wayward.
See if Factory can capitalise. Oh, there's a big backhand. Is Lim going to get under it? She does.
And the flip to Grange for the goal. Factory
good
get
read.
a break.
Factory getting some momentum again. Must be feeling a bit more confident after a couple of points now. See if that can keep flowing through.
Emerson's shot, perhaps a little risky, going jump ball when Adelaide Dennis is in the region, but
That's
even Lim reads it better.
That's what Factory are all about. Big risks, big rewards.
That's right. They certainly are this season. And as you can see, when it works really well and makes things look easy. But as we saw in the first half, when it's not coming off, things can get pretty challenging pretty quickly. But I mean, I don't think anyone's surprised to see Factory playing like this with players like Caitlin Grange and Abby Dawson at the helm of the team this year.
Definitely not. Injecting some new difference. And it pays off for them when it does. Let's see what the Ellipsis offense have. D-line for Factory coming back down again. Eager Griffiths getting under it with Phillips. Not much happening.
Beresford hits the turf.
Big open player. Phillips again through the middle. His handlers are fast. Oh, hammer. Oh, straight over. They were looking for it. That was Carr taking the hammer, nice and easy. They're comfortable with their hammers, Ellipsis. They're not afraid to use them, and they've got some good shots on them.
I think that's something that has often been said about Ellipsis, and while Ellipsis has changed a lot over the last couple of years, something that's always been true is that from top to bottom, their fundamentals are just really strong. There's no player that doesn't have a range of throws and isn't able to hit the next pass.
Whatever that may be.
Whatever that may be. That's right.
And they're happy to wait and look for the next shot. If the first one's a bit risky, they're happy to wait and look for another safer shot.
Very disciplined approach that has obviously led to great success. Done very well domestically and performed very well internationally as well. Factory's offensive line again. Bartram behind the disc, finds air.
Bit of a call. Something's happened. Oh.
I'm not sure if Anderson got a finger on that or if that was just a drop by Dawson. Either way, Ellipsis now with the disc about 8 metres out.
Break again.
And Vino to Edwards on the break side. We've said it before, but Ellipsis' use of the break side is causing Factory all sorts of problems.
Still haven't quite adjusted to that. And I'm not sure what Factory want to do or can do to try and stop it. We haven't seen much change in defense from them. We haven't seen any zones or maybe some straight up.
Yeah, it's a good point. If you can't stop them getting onto the break side, take away the break side. Make it so there isn't one. Play some straight up. That's right. Would be interesting to see something different from them. Clearly they haven't been able to get a lot of defensive traction. They should try something different.
I guess this is what the payoff trade-off is for a young leadership is sometimes you've got some fresh blood in there, but sometimes the lack of experience can be difficult as well, trying to think about what to do, what to change.
And Lisa Hoog with the disc now. She's obviously a veteran on this team and a veteran coach as well, so I'm sure she's able to contribute some of those thoughts and opinions as well. As a simple mistake, Emerson can't hold on to that disc. Drops at about 8 metres out. Well, not even, 5 metres out.
Mars looking. Easy shot to the end zone.
To Dhaliwal. She's had a couple this game. And in doing so, takes Ellipsis right to the doorstep now.
That was some good shutdown defense by Ellipsis, unfortunately, for Factory. They didn't give them a lot of options, and even the resets were hard.
And when you make teams have to look to their third or fourth option, we've said it before, but it really is true that their completion rate drops significantly as you make them more and more uncomfortable. And Factory hasn't been consistent in being able to hit that option B and option C.
See if Factory can hold them off a bit.
Their March Madness result suggests that this is not Factory's regular standard. This is not their typical level against Ellipsis.
No, I think could have a much different game on a different day. Hopefully I've got some lessons learned, though, to take to Nationals. This isn't Nationals. This isn't the end of the road. There's a lot of lessons to be learned and still a big tournament to be played.
Even within this weekend, there's lots more Ultimate to be played. Barcham continuing her work in the handler space. And Dawson will fire deep to a whole lot of nothing. But it is an interesting choice to have Barcham behind the disc so consistently. Obviously, a very proficient thrower, but a real athlete, and as we saw earlier, strong in the air.
Yeah, it looked like she was trying to get in amongst the handler cutting, getting things moving and some quick movement, but didn't quite pay off.
Phillips with the disc. She shoots
Big
for Egan
shots.
Griffiths.
Is Abby gonna? No. Looking to the break again. Oh, no. Easy open to Della. And that's game.
And just like that, Ellipsis have run away with this one. 15-5. Coming in, we're expecting a nail biter, and looked like that at the start.
Definitely
Things were looking
did.
tight. But just consistently throughout, Ellipsis were able to get the odd break, and then just before half and just after half, they string 5 in a row, and it was out of reach for Factory. And just like that, we wrapped up game 1 of the Brisbane Canberra Invitational. We've got lots more Ultimate coming to you today, so do stay tuned in to this stream brought to you by Factory and Fishwick Ultimate Clubs and presented by ULTI.TV. I've been Max Stenstrom. I've been joined by Shirin Ringland. We'll see you next time.
ULTI.TV.